Law of syllogism and law of detachment. The law of detachment states that if P then Q is a true conditional statement and P is true, then Q is also true. But if P is not true, then Q is inconclusive. Let's take a look at an example. Here we have the true conditional statement: if Megan goes to the movie theater, then she will eat popcorn. And we're going to discuss two different scenarios. In the first, Megan went to the movie theater. In the second one, Megan did not go to the movie theater. So using the law of detachment, if Megan goes to the movie theater, then she will eat popcorn. If that is a true statement, and I tell you that Megan went to the movie theater, you can tell me that Q is true. Therefore, Megan ate popcorn. However, in the second scenario, it says Megan did not go to the movie theater. And if Megan did not go to the movie theater, that means our P is not true. Therefore, the law of detachment says that we cannot make any conclusion. So we don't know if Megan ate popcorn at home, if she went to the store and bought some popcorn, or if she didn't eat popcorn. We really have no idea what happened. The law of detachment states that if P then Q and Q then R are true conditional statements, then P then R is true. So let's go ahead and look at an example. First we have, if Megan goes to the movie theater, then she will eat popcorn. We're going to say this is our P and this is our Q statement. If Megan eats popcorn, then she will be too full for dinner. Here's that Q statement repeated. She will be too full for dinner. There's a new statement. Using the law of syllogism, we can conclude that if Megan goes to the movie theater, P, then she will be too full for dinner, R. So that means when you have two conditional statements and the conclusion of one statement is repeated in the hypothesis of another statement, you can take that portion out and just use the other hypothesis with the other conclusion and put them together using the law of syllogism. Let's put these laws into practice. We need to determine if statement 3 follows from statements 1 and 2 by the law of detachment or the law of syllogism. If it does, state which law was used. If it does not, we need to write invalid. So for this first example, it states that if an angle is acute, then it is not obtuse. Then we're told that angle ABC is acute. So the question is, can we conclude that angle ABC is not obtuse? Since our fact in number 2 verified that our P, our hypothesis, is true, we can conclude that our conclusion is also true. So we can conclude that angle ABC is not obtuse using the law of detachment. In the second example, we're told that right angles are congruent. And then we have that angle A is congruent to angle B. Can you conclude that angle A and angle B are right angles? No, you can't, because we were not told anything about the angles being right. We were just told that they are congruent. You can have congruent angles that are not right angles. So this is an invalid statement. When we look at the next example, it says that if you save a penny, then you have earned a penny. And we're told that Art saves a penny. Since the first part is true, we can conclude that Art has earned a penny. And again, we're using the law of detachment. Next we have, if you are a teenager, then you're always right. If you're always right, then people will listen to you. So can we conclude that if you're a teenager, then people will listen to you? So let's go and label our statements. Being a teenager, here's our P. Always being right, this is our Q. Always being right, here's our Q again. And then people will listen to you. Here's our R, a new statement. So since we have Q, the repeated statement in the conclusion of one and the hypothesis of the other, we can cut those out and take the remaining statement, if you are a teenager, then people will listen to you. This is a valid conclusion using the law of syllogism. Then let's take a look at this last example. If you drive 50 miles per hour in a school zone, then you will get a speeding ticket. Pat received a speeding ticket. Can we conclude that Pat was driving 50 miles per hour in a school zone? The fact we are given did not verify that P, our hypothesis, was true. Therefore, we can't conclude anything. Pat could have gotten a speeding ticket somewhere else, or driving more than 50 miles per hour. So this is an invalid statement. I'll see you in class for more practice. That's it for our notes on law of detachment and law of syllogism.